Good evening, I'm Anna Jabłońska and welcome to Poland Daily. A European agreement concerning migration has been reached. During a summit in Brussels, leaders of European Union countries agreed that the adoption of migrants will be done on voluntary basis instead of being imposed by the European Commission. This is a great success for Poland and other countries making up Visegrad Group, who have been seeking this solution for some time.
After discussions throughout the night, EU member states managed to come to an agreement during the summit in Brussels. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki informed that the relocation of refugees will be carried out on an optional basis.
Yes, it was actually a very good compromise, and we have reached what we assumed that it has to be reached. There are statements about on voluntary basis, relocation on voluntary basis, and Dublin based on consensus. So we are very pleased with this.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán posted a video on his Facebook page labeled 4:40 a.m. after the battle. We are tired but satisfied. The countries of the Visegrad Group achieved a great victory today. There was a threat of migrants being relocated to European countries from camps which are yet to be created. We managed to fend off this proposal, and we have our proposal approved, which states clearly that no relocation will commence without the consent of a given country. European politicians expressed their satisfaction with the signing of the agreement. We are pleased that for the first time we managed to agree on creating migration centers outside of the European Union. Chancellor Angela Merkel underlined that despite the agreement, there was still much to be done.
After today, I remain an optimist. We will continue our work, though there is still a lot to be done, like building bridges between the EU countries.
Leaders of EU states and governments established that migrant control centers will be set up within the countries. Their aim will be to check eligibility for asylum, but there will be no migrant quotas for any countries, and the distribution will be voluntary.
Jarosław Kaczyński, the leader of the Law and Justice Party, has commented on the mutual declaration of the Polish and Israeli prime ministers, made after the amendment of a new law that makes it illegal to ascribe German war crimes to the Polish nation or state. According to Kaczyński, the declaration is groundbreaking as it reinforces the Polish historical narrative regarding the Second World War.
This declaration, though it does have its flaws, is a sign that Israel agrees with our narrative about the Second World War. It agrees with the truth. If we were to do nothing, we would accomplish nothing as well. We took measures which were effective, and this is to Prime Minister Morawiecki's credit. He conducted some difficult conversations with Prime Minister Netanyahu, who is a very challenging partner. But he can be likeable when the topic of conversation is less serious. Nevertheless, these negotiations brought change, especially when compared with the initial declaration.
Judges of the Supreme Court have opposed the recently enacted bill, which states that a judge who has reached the age of 65 must retire. Yet another political battle seems to be on the horizon as the opposition parties try to add fuel to the fire. The European Commission has joined the discussion by announcing that it will direct the matter to the European Court of Justice.
It looks as though Franz Timmermans has gotten the green light from the European Commission to intervene in all of Poland's internal affairs. The Vice President of the Commission intends to take Poland to the European Court of Justice. We don't intend to back away from this bill. European institutions have no right to decide on the internal affairs of any country. Columnist Rafał Ziemkiewicz believes that the European Commission will continue to threaten Poland with sanctions over the matter. These actions have no legal basis. Supreme Court judges have no right to decide on constitutional matters. Ms. Gersdorf and other judges had the option to keep their positions. The new bill doesn't force judges to retire if they provide proper medical documents, which they didn't. According to the amendment to the Supreme Court bill, judges who have reached the age of 65 will have to retire on July 3rd. On that date, there will be 73 judges in the Supreme Court, with 27 of them have already reached retirement age. Yesterday, the General Assembly of Judges of the Supreme Court decided that the term of office of the first President of the Supreme Court will end on April 30th, 2020. Judge Gersdorf will be 65 years old in November this year.
Musimy sobie odpowiedzieć na pytanie, czy...
The question to be answered is, does the Law and Justice Party want to go through with this bill all the way, or does it intend to back off a little and still claim it as a victory, like Viktor Orban did?
Mimo potencjalnych kar...
Despite being threatened with a lawsuit by the European Court of Justice, Mateusz Morawiecki's government is promising not to cave under pressure.
It looks as though after Poland, Hungary is next in line to be threatened with sanctions by the European Commission. This comes after the European Parliament's Civil Rights Committee voted in favor of triggering Article 7 against Budapest. The committee argued that the independence of the judiciary and the rights of minorities are under threat in the country. It also claims that Hungary is mistreating migrants and refugees.
In the final stage of the Article 7 procedure, sanctions can only be placed on an EU member state if there is a unanimous vote in the European Council. Hungary has already vowed to block any attempt of imposing sanctions on Poland, and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban is certain that Warsaw will return the favour. Orban reacted to the news by stating that it was nothing but an attempt by Brussels to put pressure on Hungary to change its migration policy. He also said he won't change his course as he has been given a strong mandate, having won the parliamentary election earlier this spring with 50% of the vote. Political analysts claim it's practically certain that the European Parliament will vote in favour of triggering Article 7 against Hungary before the end of September.
Thank you for watching Poland Daily. Coming up next, Poland Daily weather. Good night.